Cyber Uncut. Discover the changing face of business, government and national security as Australia navigates the cyber revolution.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are listening to the Cyber Uncut podcast. My name is David Hollingworth. I am the Deputy Editor of Cyber Daily, and I'm joined by my indefatigable colleague,
Daniel Croft.
I'm
amazed.
Smoother every
I don't think
time.
I could pronounce I can't do it now.
You can do it. Come on, just work it through. Indefatigable.
Indefatigable.
You got it.
There we go.
See, you just got to relax into it. Don't worry, I panic every time I decide, am I going indefatigable? Oh, indefatigable. Yeah.
It's a great word. I just know it will stump me.
How are you doing?
Quite good.
So I need to point out to the audience that Dan and I have been at the farewell lunch, a long farewell lunch for one of our colleagues here, the editor of Australian Aviation. Did I get that right this time?
Yeah.
Oh, the last time I got it. We're going to miss Adam a lot, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I first started here at Momentum, I was at Australian Aviation.
You were, yeah.
And Adam was my editor, and he's a great bloke, and we will all miss him very dearly.
He was part of the team that hired both of us.
Yeah, he was.
And that's always a weird thing when the person who hired you leaves, and a person who you become good friends with as well.
Yeah, he's a top bloke. We sit next to him on a daily basis, and hear the
thanks
antics.
to the Qantas hack, we've worked very closely with him for the last couple of weeks as well.
Yes, we have. Their kind of aviation expertise, as we had Jake on the podcast just a few weeks ago.
But anyway, we've been at his farewell lunch, so apologies if this is a slightly looser podcast than normal, if there can be such a thing. So, as always, we're going to kick off with AI, and this week the AI news isn't great.
No.
Because... hey, AI is coming for our jobs.
The job-ageddon has begun.
Yeah, all right. So, let's talk Atlassian.
Well, we'll start just before Atlassian. CBA, Commonwealth Bank. They announced this major job cull. 45 jobs at least. I've heard as high as 90 jobs made redundant as they start to push for more kind of AI kind of in the workforce. So their words, CBA spokesman said, our investment in technology, including AI, is making it easier and faster for customers to get help, especially in our call centres. Now, CBA announced this new voice bot, as part of which they cut, I think it was 304 staff in Australia, hired 110 in India. So they're also moving staff offshore to lower kind of labour costs at a time where they had, I think it was 10 billion in profit.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I was about to say, how much money have they made?
Record profits.
Yeah, good.
We all know
Excellent.
banks have quite a lot of like kind of government protections and everything. Anyway, so they cut about 45 to 90 staff, and they're kind of upping the ante on AI use in customer service, I believe.
Yeah.
And the unions are, for lack of a better term, pissed. I don't know if that counts as one that needs to be censored or not.
Probably. They're upset. Let's just say the unions
They're very
are upset.
Yeah. So, Australian Finance Sector Union, National Secretary Julia Angrisano said, just when we think CBA can't sink any lower, they start cutting jobs because of AI on top of sneakily offshoring work to India. If that is what the CEO of CBA, Matt Common, I believe is how it's pronounced, calls productivity, we're seriously concerned about his place at the National Productivity Roundtable, which is a roundtable Albanese is organising regarding productivity and AI.
Well, no, I think it's just productivity. AI is going to be a part of it.
Okay,
There's no way it's not going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
But generally it's more about, boosting... As we all know, Australia is behind in productivity. We are
massively,
not nearly as productive as we can be. And a lot of people are saying that AI is the way to boost productivity. This isn't the way to do it.
No, it is not. Particularly in the context of a kind of cost of living crisis, culling people's jobs and having AI replace them, which, going on to Atlassian, apparently isn't happening.
Segue. Nice.
Let's
What is Atlassian doing?
Much the same. So there was a story yesterday that the kind of CEO and co-founder Mike Cannon-Brookes, this is also, I just want to comment, this is not a great way to let people go.
Oh, this is the whole thing. This is nightmarish. I had an anxiety attack when I just read how this was done.
Yeah. So, for context, Atlassian has this kind of like ethos of open business, and this will need to be censored. No bullshit.
Yeah. Yep. That's what they say, not what we say. It's what they say.
Cut the second half of that word, you'll know what that is. And so rather than like face the music on this, he sent a video to staff saying that they may be terminated as part of a kind of workplace restructure. But wait 15 minutes after the video and you'll get an email letting you know whether your future at the company exists. And after that 15 minutes, if you got an email, you were terminated, you received 6 months' pay, which that part I'll say is quite generous for a termination. And that was it. All right. Now, media first reported that this meant that the jobs are going to be replaced by AI. As Atlassian has said, where we've kind of embedded AI into our kind of customer contact, customer service, and that the company has outgrown the customer service. It's so successful that big clients are using cloud solutions. We don't need the complex customer service we have.
Yeah.
Therefore, we're letting them go. And so we wrote the story yesterday that the jobs are being replaced by AI. However, I got a statement from Atlassian saying, no, we're not being replaced. We're not replacing these jobs with AI. First of all, we've confirmed that Australian staff are impacted. But second of all, the jobs are not being replaced by AI. We've just bolstered our customer service. However, read between the lines. It's downsizing its customer service workforce. It's bolstered its customer service workforce with AI. It may not be a direct replacement, but it is moving in a direction where AI is doing the work, not people.
We can all read between the lines here.
Yeah. And so even former CEO, co-CEO, and co-founder Scott Farquhar told the Australian Press Club that Aussies need to be using AI. We need to forget jobs of the past. People should be using AI on a daily basis. This is the future kind of thing.
Yeah, sounds familiar. Yep.
Which is really disappointing because I know, like, in the kind of structure of things, Scott Farquhar was kind of considered the softie, the person you go to with an issue. While Cannon Brooks was the brutal kind of like as their
business
motto
with lead
suggests.
pipe quality. Yep.
But he's pretty much saying jobs of the past should be forgotten. And I know a lot of people are arguing that jobs of the future will be different because of AI. At the moment, it seems like jobs of the future don't exist.
Because AI is there for it. Or the jobs of the future don't happen in our country. They happen somewhere else where the labor's cheaper.
Yeah, where people are paid a fraction of our minimum wage and a wage that they deserve more for.
Yeah.
So
for the Farquhars and Cannon Brookses of the world, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a company with, I think they've got I think Farquhar or Cannon Brooks, I forget which, is worth, some multi-billion-dollar value.
There's a bit of money on the table. Yeah.
Atlassian and Commonwealth Bank are both like multi-billion-dollar organizations for Australia. They're some of our richest kind of companies. And they've kind of set a precedent that, yes, you can put profit, massive record-breaking profit over people.
Yeah, it's something I've been hearing a lot of in the last couple of weeks. There's this rash of tech bro CEOs like actively going out there going, I'm excited when I get to let people go because AI is great. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'd like you to get guillotined now.
Yeah. Kind of think about it in the context of you're in their position for a split second if you can manage. It's brutal and it's scary and it's dangerous. And I mean, we're both in a kind of market where AI can have a scary role as well.
Oh yeah.
So
no doubt.
It's very easy to sympathize with these people. Now, people have kind of preached that customer service is the first place it's going to get hit.
Yeah.
And as we've seen, that seems to be happening. I know Atlassian says they're not replacing jobs with AI. I got the statement today, and I ran that as the story. But you don't have to be, kind of Einstein level IQ
call
to
a
see
spade
that
a spade.
It's very careful wording. Yeah, the jobs aren't there, and they're not replacing them straight away. They're just building one and dropping another.
And Also, so Dan and I were talking about this yesterday. As always, we're recording this on Thursday. It's coming out on the Friday.
Absolutely,
yesterday is a vague, wibbly-wobbly concept at this point in time. But we were chatting yesterday when the big Russian earthquake happened and news of the possible tsunami warnings all around the Pacific Rim. And people on X were arguing with Grok, the excellent, finely tuned, cannot do anything wrong AI of Elon Musk, where Grok was going, there is no tsunami warning for Hawaii. And people going, no, go to the website. There's a big red band across the top. It says tsunami warning. Grok's like, no, that's referring to something else. There is no tsunami warning.
Yeah. I tested the same on both, I believe it was ChatGPT and Gemini regarding a hack we're going to talk about soon.
Yes.
And one said that it didn't happen. Another said that, so what I got it to do was write an article based on it. This was not for our publication. This was purely for testing.
Yeah.
And I got it to write an article about it, and it did. And then I put it into a fact-checking kind of mode with both Gemini and ChatGPT. And
that was fascinating.
ChatGPT said, I don't know about this. I'm not confident. Gemini said, I know this is false, where it would say the things that it got right were wrong and the things that it got wrong were right. And it had a massive confidence rating that this was all correct, what it had said. And it was like, no, this is not.
Yeah. And we're now relying upon these bots to do customer service work. And
customer service is one of those things that, obviously, if you have been the customer in that role, it's already a really, really difficult process. Like, I'm going through it with DD after I won't get into it. There was a blackmail incident with a DD driver.
Carry on.
Yeah, I won't get into it. DD, not slamming you. You've been actually really, really good. But the customer service thing, it takes time. It's difficult. No matter who you are and how good a company does it, it's something you don't want to go through, and it's something you have to, and
if you're talking to customer service, you're already having a bad day.
Exactly, right. And passing that over to an AI that will get things wrong, when people already get it wrong, not out of intention, I'm not slamming anyone here, but, there's already difficulties there, and you're now passing it to a bot that's known to hallucinate.
A human will know when they've made a mistake and hopefully go, apologies.
Yeah.
That was an error. An AI cannot recognize when it's hallucinating because I'm
going to kind of shorten this story, but I heard this really funny thing. I don't know how true it is. I've heard it from, but I heard this story from, what is the AI giant? Anthropic.
Yes.
So they did this experiment where they put AI in a vending machine. I will shorten this story. Yeah. I don't know how true it is. I would like verification on this, but I heard this from a video. They tried running a vending machine on AI, and it pretty much was in charge of setting prices, setting stock, and was able to talk to staff.
Yeah.
So staff, obviously, being, as any staff would be, you're a bit cheeky. You ask it to stock tungsten cubes, but obviously it wants to be successful. So it starts selling these tungsten cubes, which are dense and expensive, very cheap. So these people, one guy convinced the vending machine to give him one for free. Then,
wait, how does the vending machine get tungsten cubes?
Anthropic was stocking it with whatever it asked. They were really giving it free reign. It then started talking about someone who was stocking it called Susan. Susan didn't exist.
Okay.
And then it started asking people to kind of see it, see it in the hallways. It would be like, hey, I'm wearing a red tie today. Come catch up. And then when people reminded it that it was an AI, not a human, it had a freak out. And it only corrected itself when it realized it was April 1st and then said, I was just kidding, guys, and went back to normal. Is this something... I know this is a generalization of AI because I know not all AIs are built the same. But is this the kind of technology you want running your customer service? This was, as far as I can understand, this year. I could be wrong. Please correct me if this is all kind of not correct. But this is what I've heard. And it makes sense because, we've both experienced AIs hallucinating semi-frequently.
Yeah.
and now this kind of technology is in charge of our customer service and
our tungsten cubes.
And our tungsten cubes.
Our
Congratulations to any Anthropic staff that got a tungsten cube for free.
God, I want my free tungsten cube.
Yeah, they're worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars, depending on the size, could be thousands. So
I'd like a really large tungsten cube.
Yeah, I mean, they're dense and heavy. That's all I know. Tungsten's quite a dense
and
metal.
A really, really powerful backpack. And on that note, we're going to take a break from the honestly wacky world of AI.
Yeah.
And we'll be back to talk about crimes after this break. Welcome back to the Cyber Uncut podcast. I'm David, he's Dan, and it's time for cybercrime.
Yep.
Not crimes we've committed, crimes we're talking about. We would never
the
commit
meat and
cybercrime.
potatoes of what
Even
we do.
on a slow week where there's no cybercrime, we would never commit cybercrime to make a news story.
No, we would not.
Honest.
Yeah, no winking. No, yeah, I'll cross. I'm not crossing my fingers.
All right. God, where do we start this week?
Where do you want to start?
Where do you start? Let's talk Qantas.
Let's talk Qantas.
Let's talk Qantas.
Because there's a lot to unpack here.
And which there's a lot to continue to unpack. So the latest evolution in the Qantas story. So early June, Qantas gets hacked. A few days after that, Qantas says, hey, we've been hacked. So far, this is an excellent response. Qantas, their response was really fast. They contacted victims as fast as they could. Mm-hmm. Everything's above board. As this is happening, a lot of experts, a lot of observers, including us, go, it feels like a lot like Scattered Spider.
Yeah.
Feels a lot like those guys who've been hacking UK retailers who are known for their social engineering skill.
Yep.
Sounds like Scattered Spider.
Yeah. It fits the bill.
Yeah, it fits the bill. Last week, I got hold of court documents which included not transcripts, email correspondence between the hackers and Qantas.
Yep.
And it was redacted. And I remember looking at Hi Qantas, where redacted.
Blank. Yeah.
And I kept like, does Scattered Spider fit in there?
Yeah.
And it didn't, but move on.
And we were even thinking of what do other people attribute? What names have people kind of given Scattered Spider?
And what would they call themselves? Because that's the thing. Scattered Spider probably don't call themselves Scattered Spider.
Yeah. And that was our only kind of conclusion of that's why it's this length. Until now.
So, our colleagues in cyber journalism at Bleeping Computer, bless them, they've been doing this a lot longer than Dan and I have. They have a lot of comms with people within the hacking community.
Yeah.
And they've come up with a thesis, which, frankly, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That the people behind the Qantas hack are, in fact, ShinyHunters.
Yeah, the guy/group that was arrested at the takedown of breach forums?
Yep, but that was one guy who was meant to be part of.
It sounds like the guy who was the face of ShinyHunters on breach forums was the guy who was arrested, but the group's still there.
Group, absolutely. And so, okay, here's what we're thinking. Here is the latest thing in the Qantas
Hear
hack.
us out.
Scattered Spider, ShinyHunters. They're both hacking collectives. They are, and by hacking collective, we mean a bunch of people who hang out, hack together, share techniques, tools, procedures, who often target the same entities, who may even have a huge overlap. I'm doing a Venn diagram thing with my fingers right now. I don't know why I'm doing that. Bleeping Computer, I'm pretty sure that ShinyHunters are the ones behind the Qantas hack.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, ShinyHunters fits beautifully into that redacted text
It does.
box.
Yeah, with our little kind of, little edit.
We went full CSI today on this one. Like, wait, does the text fit? The text does fit.
It does.
But also everything else fits as well. ShinyHunters, we know, has been going after Salesforce instances. Qantas has not admitted this, but we're pretty sure it was a Salesforce instance that got compromised. And ShinyHunters are good at this. ShinyHunters are also English-speaking, adept at social engineering, technically proficient.
And they have a history of going after very high-profile targets. We saw Dell get done a number of times.
Yeah.
We've seen a number of really, really big organizations listed by ShinyHunters, whether that be on breach forums or
snowflake
elsewhere.
hacks.
Yeah.
These guys who like to go after known weaknesses in CRMs, in third-party software.
Yeah.
So they can target one application and get multiple victims with it.
Yeah, and they're very good at it.
Yeah.
Speaking of multiple victims, if we want to go that way
Please,
now.
let's go.
So we reported on a a cyber attack on Allianz Life Insurance in the US.
Yep.
One of the biggest insurers in the US. They've got 1.4 million customers in the US, all of which were affected by a
just
cyber attack.
1.4 million? That seems low for the US.
I thought so too, but that's the number that I was given.
Cool.
That's the number that I keep seeing.
Yep.
So they have 125 million customers worldwide.
Ah, that makes more sense. Yeah.
1.4 million in the US. So yeah, there was a cyber attack. We now know that kind of personal data was exfiltrated in said cyber attack. And while no one knew who it was, Scattered Spider to me made sense. Google Threat Intelligence Group did a study on Scattered Spider, I believe in May or June, saying that they had now migrated from, the UK retailers to US insurance companies. And Allianz Life is quite a big target.
So it seems we were looking at two groups, very loose groups, who, for all we know, ShinyHunters is in fact Scattered Spider.
And that's where it gets better.
Yeah.
So Bleeping Computer said that, there was a Salesforce breach by ShinyHunters.
Yep.
Now, Allianz Life said there was a third-party CRM.
Yeah.
That led to their breach. There was no actual Allianz Life systems from recollection. It was a third-party CRM. Bleeping Computer says that third-party CRM is Salesforce, and that the group that breached that Salesforce was none other than ShinyHunters.
Yeah.
And it would make a lot of sense that Google's findings and what Bleeping Computer has concluded.
No, it makes... The weird thing is, and I didn't say this in the article, it would be very weird to say this in the article I wrote today, but for some reason, twisting and turning in bed last night, I woke up and went, wait, what if we got this all wrong?
Yeah.
And my subconscious mind was like, I need to look at ShinyHunters tomorrow. Like, they're a loose hacking collective, right? What if, wake up, Bleeping Computer got their first,
They've had the same dream.
Clearly.
Just the night before,
We're sharing. But no, the thing about Bleeping Computer is they, as we said earlier, they've been doing this for a while. They have what I like to refer to, because it sounds cool, as back channels into the hacking community.
Yeah.
Which Daniel and I keep talking about. A lot of these hackers are very happy to be contacted.
They are.
They have media pages. They've got media teams.
Their media pages have our website on them on occasion,
strange. Yeah.
which is as cool as it is terrifying and concerning, because we don't want to be bolstering the abilities of them to advertise.
But nonetheless, when I see these guys and being able to get such knowledge of what's going on, it makes me think that, no, we absolutely should be trying to reach out and make some connections in the criminal community. I hate to say that, but if it makes our reporting more accurate.
And I think it's in the best interests of our readers.
Yeah.
So,
it's a weird one, but no, like this
watch
is
this space.
We are still coming to grips with the revelation that it could be ShinyHunters. We're still trying to work out what that means, who ShinyHunters are, who Scattered Spider is. Are they the same group? Is there a lot of overlap, a little bit of overlap? We don't know. This is one of those things where the more we learn about it, the more we just do not know.
Yeah, we get more questions than answers.
Absolutely.
Like we already know Scattered Spider is working with the Dragon Force ransomware group. Is it just the case that there's this collective and a couple members of ShinyHunters, a couple members of Dragon Force? Is Dragon Force giving a service to some of the members of Scattered Spider? I don't know.
I think Bleeping Computer today were like wondering if ShinyHunters might also be operating somewhat as an intrusion as a service outfit.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me, because they're very good at it.
Exactly.
So
we could be looking at almost like a vertical slice through the entire cybercrime ecosystem here in what we thought were two separate groups who might be the same group, who might have some overlap, who could be initial access brokers all the way through to data exfiltrators. There's a lot to unpack here, and we're going to try and continue to unpack as we go on. This is where we're at the moment. Tomorrow, everything could change.
If you know anything, please reach out.
Oh, Lord.
Send us an email, throw us a line, and just kind of give you if you know things, if you know how this is working, please tell us, because we would love to know.
I love the idea that somewhere out there is, this dude in a hoodie like I normally wear. Just walking along, listening to his favorite podcast. His favorite podcast could well be Cyber Uncut.
Yep.
She maybe as well.
They?
And going, they want to talk. I like that.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
why I like that. All right, okay. So that's Qantas. We've talked about Qantas a lot. That's Allianz. That's two of the biggest hacking stories globally at the moment.
Yeah.
But let's get a little bit closer to home. Home ownership.
Here we go.
I'm not planning on owning one.
I would love to. That is the plan. I will try.
Chances are, if you were going to do that, especially if you wanted a newly built home of your own, you would go to Metricon Homes.
They're the country's biggest home builder.
Huge,
aren't they?
like up and down the eastern seaboard, into South Australia, and they've got a raft of different home designs. They'll build it. They do all of this, and Quill and ransomware hit Metricon Homes and got away with terabytes of data. And
I've seen multiple numbers on that. What did you report as numbers?
so it's 98,000 files. And sorry, not terabytes, gigabytes. 128 gigabytes of data, 98,000
Yes.
files.
Okay, cool.
Several screenshots and documents already posted to dark web as proof of the hack. Credit card receipts, HR information, profit and loss statements. I don't know. This is one of those areas where I don't want to blame the victim. I do not want to blame the victim. And Metricon Homes, their media contact has been astoundingly good.
Yeah.
Like really, really friendly. They've actually handled everything in terms of crisis comms really, really well.
And that's something that should be celebrated. So well done.
Well done. Yeah. However, they also keep in a spreadsheet lists of all of the company credit cards and the yeah.
Look, I feel bad when I see mistakes like this because it's something that can happen really easily. It's convenient. When you're a company that has a lot to deal with and cybersecurity easily becomes an afterthought, super easy to fall into that. So I don't want to attack them too much for that. It's silly, but it's easy to not realize how silly it is.
It is. And look, the security number on the back of the card is not listed, but all four-digit groups are listed in this spreadsheet.
And for that 3-number digit on the back, you only need 999 tests.
What's the mathematical possibility of hacking that?
There are 3 digits,
You know what I
999.
love, though? Quillen,
1,000,
when they shared this data, even they went, nah, that's too much to share. They redacted the column. They made it obvious that it's credit card numbers,
Yeah.
but they had the credit card numbers, the employee that had it, who they reported to. Like, it's a lot of data.
This was pre-publication, obviously. Are they kind of like geared this up for publication later?
This is all of their proof of hack.
Yeah, okay. So it's likely that they don't want just, other people running off with credit card information.
They could sell on to another criminal.
When they could just sell it, yeah.
I like to imagine that, oh, wow, it's a lot. We want to give these guys a chance to actually pay us a ransom. But no, you're actually right. If it's useful data, they don't want to give it away for free.
They just want to prove that it's useful.
I hate the way your mind works.
Hey, look, you have to be pessimistic when you're thinking about threat actors.
Biggest home builders. We can only imagine what kind of data they hold and how useful that could be to other cyber criminals.
Massively.
So, another one of those deeply personal choices you make throughout your life is buying a home.
Massively, yeah.
So, you get somebody giving you a phone call, sending you an email. Here are the we want to talk to you about your home, and they name the model of home because these home builders, you're building our footloose and fancy free model.
Sure.
You're building this, and you're building it here, and you're building it on this date.
You've made these changes. It's a
Exactly.
personal experience.
Once you establish identity, you can get so much. Yep. Well, and we're calling from Metricon because there's a problem with your payment. We say this all the time, but it's such usable data.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And I feel sorry for anybody who gets hit by this kind of thing because no one thinks that they hold obviously, no one thinks they hold data this important.
And, look, already, even going with a home builder as experienced as Metricon, who, has cut the process down as much as they can, making it as least stressful as possible. Every time there's a hiccup, I speaking to people I know who have built homes, not me, I do not own a home, but people who have built homes, it is a really, really stressful, tiring, and emotional process.
Yeah.
And, to have that on top, I feel really, really bad for anyone who's going through that. So it makes that data just that much more
Yeah.
kind of important.
Yeah.
And I think if you're trying to go through a phishing attack or some sort of other kind of compromise of an individual following, this larger cyber attack where people have gotten that kind of data,
Yeah.
targeting these specific customers, it can be really, really kind of. There's a lot of reason for people to want to kind of get up and kind of work with the threat actor because it's such an emotional, tiring process.
It really is.
I got there in the end.
You got there in the end. Well
There
done.
we go.
Bravo.
There we go.
And on that note, it feels like we should take a short break.
Yeah, absolutely.
Collect our thoughts.
Yep.
And come back for what I lovingly refer to as the happy news part of the podcast. Hint, it's not the happy news.
I was going to
part
say
of the
that
podcast.
exactly.
We've run out of happy news this week. We'll be back shortly.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Cyber Uncut podcast. I'm joined by Dan. I'm David. All right. How are we ending this thing? What's our laughably not happy news?
We've got
week?
this really, really lovely story of a cyber attack. It is, look, depending on your kind of political allegiance, this could be positive.
Yep.
Russia's largest airline,
Yes.
this has been pretty heavily reported on, got slammed.
Is this Aeroflot?
It is Aeroflot, a Ukrainian cyber attack. So they cancelled, I think it was 60 or so flights.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And Aeroflot can't be having that many flights these days.
no,
Yeah.
I know Russia's a big place, but if you're going west,
Yeah. Well, what else have we got?
So pro-Ukrainian hacking group Silent Crow announced on Telegram that they had, in quotes, destroyed the airline systems.
I will say, Ukrainian hackers always say destroyed.
They do. They like destroyed, annihilated, things that are just like,
No, you took it offline. The backups are coming online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they apparently collaborated with a group called Cyber Partisans, and they announced the, word for word, successful completion of a long-term and large-scale operation which resulted in the complete compromise and destruction of the internal IT infrastructure of Aeroflot. So Aeroflot had to cancel a bunch of flights, had to delay a bunch more. I believe they've since said, we're all good to go.
Yeah.
Yet more flights have been cancelled and delayed. So they've obviously done some serious damage. The threat group says they had access to 122 hypervisors.
Yep, that makes sense. Yeah.
43 ZVIRT virtualization installations, about 100 ILO interfaces for server management, 4 Proxmox clusters. As a result of the cyber attack, 7,000 servers were destroyed, both physical and virtual.
Okay, I'm sorry. Destroying physical servers.
Yeah, that's the bit that gets me.
You? What is this? A Stuxnet attack? No, it's are you throwing Iranian centrifuges offline? No,
there was no.
Unless they are, in which case it's terrifying, and I apologize to all the Ukrainian hackers out there. Don't come after me.
They said that they obtained 12 terabytes of database data, 8 terabytes of files from Windows Share, and 2 terabytes of corporate emails. These are big claims. That's 22 terabytes? And they said all resources are now inaccessible or destroyed. Recovery will require possibly tens of millions of dollars. The damage is strategic.
So there's something I want to point out to you. Have you ever flown inside Russia before?
No, I have not.
You see, flight cancellations and things being delayed is just like normal. Like, maybe no one in Russia has even noticed this has happened.
I do expect that some of this is kind of like laid on a little bit.
I think laid on a lot.
Yeah.
I would say they've definitely done something. But the thing is that if a Ukrainian hacker can cause even a little bit of disruption, you magnify that. You use that as a propaganda win.
Absolutely, yeah. They're in the middle of a war. It makes perfect sense that would be the case.
Yeah.
The Aeroflot website was down briefly at the time we checked it, which was, a number of hours, like a limited number of hours afterwards. The site was fine, except it had kind of like a early screening where it said your web browser will now be tested. Please wait for the page to load. I don't know if that's something that just always happens with Aeroflot. It could be a case of post-cyber attack. It could just
be Russian.
It could just be part of their infrastructure. But at the time, 80 flights were delayed, 60 cancelled, and I believe that more have been cancelled and delayed since. But
Look, There is an element of truth to this. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that Ukrainian hackers have caused issues and headaches for
Sure.
Aeroflot. Destroyed their servers?
Especially the physical destruction thing. I
know,
can't imagine like
yeah.
seeing like a server room and like little explosions going off.
It's so cyberpunk. I love it. I
Yeah.
love the idea of it.
Yeah, me too. Like a little like
Yeah.
I'd love to think that a little robot went in and just ripped wires out and that destroyed their infrastructure.
Yeah.
I would be
Absolute
very-
neuromancer right there.
Yeah.
I did it again. My apologies. Okay, dollar in the swear jar.
It did not happen.
Yeah.
But you know, it was one of those high profile things,
Yeah,
and we've seen a lot of this kind of cyber warfare happen in this Ukraine-Russia conflict.
Yeah.
More than even Israel-Palestine, more than any previous conflict, this has kind of been the place where cybercrime has taken a real strong role
And not
in
just
warfare.
cybercrime, because yes, you have the hacktivists doing this, but you also have
Government.
state-backed government
Yeah.
baked within the military infrastructure hackers going after each
Yeah.
other. This is you hear military people talk about full spectrum warfare. Well, this is full spectrum
Yeah.
warfare, including cyber.
I remember having a chat with our editor Liam a while ago that where a cyber attack on a small business is the same as going into that same small business and robbing them from the till.
Yes, yep. This
Right.
is an analogy I use a lot as well.
It is exactly the same with warfare, where instead of having guys with guns, you've
Yep.
got guys with laptops.
Yep.
And you were taking things down like infrastructure and
Yep.
critical things. The same kind of targets you would have in a military perspective,
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
context.
Think of a commando raid, right?
Yeah.
Small number of people going into a facility, wrecking it, pulling out.
Yeah. Causing absolutely detrimental damage to the opposition.
But probably the opposition can get it back online.
yeah.
This is something we've seen throughout history of warfare.
Yeah.
But it's that little bit of disruption. Enough
You're creating
disruption
windows.
Here, enough disruption
Yeah.
there. And that's what we're looking at with this kind of cyber conflict.
And cyber has the same effect.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's no surprise that we're seeing
Yep.
it, especially in a war that's been going for what, 3 years now?
3 years and it's going to hit its fourth year and it's not far away.
God, it does
And
not
frankly,
feel that
I
long
can't
ago it
feel
started.
It's going to end soon. So this is more defense stuff, but this one's wild. So a friend pointed this one out to me. I saw it in the news and thought, okay, that's interesting. A hacker claimed to have gotten into the French naval group. Naval group,
yes.
the guys who were building the submarines that Australia was going to buy until Scott Morrison screwed over France and nestled up to the US.
It's like when he tackled that kid.
Oh my God, it's exactly like when he tackled that kid. I want to make a meme of that kid and put Macron's face. So Naval Group got hacked, or a hacker claimed they got in the Naval Group, and they got data out the wazoo.
Yeah.
Now, the Naval Group has said, no, there is no evidence for this. This is a reputational attack. Someone's trying to damage our brand, as it were. But what the hacker's claiming to have, if it were true, I don't know if it is, but if it were true, they say they have source code to combat management systems used on their submarines.
Yeah. It's pretty big.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Think about that. Everything that you use to run your submarine, target acquisition, target packaging, sensors, all of that done. Not only is your own fleet compromised, you can never sell another sub to anyone else. And we know that the French military-industrial complex likes to sell submarines to people.
Yeah.
Until you fix that, until you rewrite all of that. Like that'd be one of the greatest hacks ever, frankly. Now, Naval Group said no. And I don't think they can afford to say no if it weren't the case.
No.
Unless they're like just white knuckling their way through this until they can find a way through it. But it's an absolutely wild claim.
So, did you look at the sample data posted?
I can't get onto that forum.
Okay.
So they only allow you to sign up. And this is really interesting. So here's an interesting background into hacking forums. This is a forum I won't name.
No.
It's not breach forums.
It looks like breach forums.
It's not, but they're trying to look like breach forums because breach forums is having issues. By the way, for those listening who've been following along to our breach forum stories, they're down again.
Yeah, that was noted yesterday for those listeners.
Yeah, they're down again.
Listening
Who knows
on
if
release.
it's another law enforcement operation? Who knows if it's just falling over on its own? Yeah, crazy. Where are we going with that?
The forum looks like breach forums, but
Yes.
it's not breach forums.
No.
A forum you will not name. We were talking about the data sample.
Yeah, and I couldn't because they won't let you sign up if you're using my Momentum Media address. They only accept Gmail, Proton, Hotmail, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you look like you belong to a company, you can't get in.
And I think we do.
Yeah. And also, I don't want to use my private email.
But they posted a 13 gigabyte data sample.
Yeah.
13 gigabytes as a sample is not small.
I know. And also, I don't even know what I'd be looking for if I could download it. It's
No.
not like I'm looking for passport scans and credit card details. I wouldn't know what a French ballistic missile submarine combat management system would look like if you
Don't
me
worry.
to.
Watch it show up in a War Thunder League. Someone will leak submarine data or something like that.
I'm
Give it
sure
a
they
couple
will.
weeks.
And you know what? I think, on the note of War Thunder, let's set the clock. Let's call it here.
It'll happen.
It will happen. We will be back next week. Thank you for listening. I've been David. He's been Dan. We represent Cyber Daily. We are your number one source for cybersecurity, AI, digital transformation, all that kind of stuff news. You can find us on our socials. Sign up to our newsletter, please. And we'll be back next week with more of the same, hopefully a little bit more together.
Yeah, it's been a little sloppy, so thank you for sticking with us.
All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.